Welcome to the second episode in a Legendarium series about King Henry V of England. In this installment, the Reconquest of Wales, we will talk about how the Lancastrian dynasty almost lost Wales to a national uprising in the early 1400s. And while Prince Henry would reconquer Wales for England, his relentless ambition would put him at odds with his own father. By the year 1403, 16-year-old Prince Henry was already a battle-scarred veteran of the war against the rebel Percy family. Yet while Prince Henry and his father, King Henry IV, were fighting the rebels, they were losing Wales. A Welsh lord named Owen Glendower raised an army of peasants and lower nobility, armed with adapted sickles, picks, and billhooks. They mounted hit-and-run raids against the ruling English within Wales until Owen Glendower took control of most of the country. Glendower even married his daughter to a captive English lord named Edmund Mortimer, held parliaments in Harlech Castle, and allied with the Kingdom of France. Knowing he might soon lose Wales, King Henry IV unleashed his son Prince Henry upon the rebels. They had taken the English castles, so Prince Henry focused on retaking them one by one, in a slow piecemeal conquest that also allowed him to take control of Welsh roads and rivers, which in turn would keep the rebels from moving food from here to there. Prince Henry also used extreme brutality against the Welsh rebels. After the Battle of Usk, Prince Henry hung 300 of Owen Glendower's men. When he captured Owen's son Griffin, he sent him to the Tower of London, where Griffin was tortured for days on end. And whenever Prince Henry retook castles, he hung their noble-born custodians and put their bodies on gibbets as a warning to anyone else thinking of rebelling against the Lancastrian dynasty. In time, Prince Henry reduced Glendower to his seat, Harlech Castle. In September 1407, Prince Henry arrived at Harlech with an army of 1,000 men, equipped with trebuchets and cannons. Prince Henry used the trebuchets to hurl dead cattle and excrement inside the castle to spread disease among its Welsh defenders. Prince Henry also used cannons to pound away at the outer walls. The sound of cannonballs shrieking and bursting in the air must have been terrifying to the Welsh rebels, but they were also dangerous to the English gunners. Indeed, the biggest English cannon, called the King's Daughter, exploded and killed a dozen of Prince Henry's men. Yet Prince Henry was in no hurry to actually storm the castle, because if he went through the gates, that would mean going through a tunnel lined with arrow slots in the walls for archers and murder holes in the ceiling through which Welsh defenders could pour quicklime and boiling fish oil upon the English defenders. In the end, Prince Henry starved the Welsh into submission. By the end, Owen Glendower's men were reduced to eating their horses and even hunting rats in the castle for food. When Prince Henry finally entered the castle in triumph in February 1408, Owen Glendower simply vanished and was never found. He entered Welsh legend, and many Welsh peasants cherished the belief that Owen Glendower would one day return and liberate them from English rule. Yet these crushing victories did not lead to warm relations between Prince Henry and his father, King Henry V. During and after the Welsh campaigns, Prince Henry reportedly gained a taste for wine, women, and song. According to Shakespeare's famous plays about King Henry IV and King Henry V, this wild and raucous behavior much troubled King Henry IV. Yet the historical King Henry IV was much more worried by his son's appetite for power. After the end of the Welsh campaign, Prince Henry often attended council meetings and used them as a means to advance the careers of his friends from the war. During his father's extended illness in 1410 and 1411, Prince Henry's influence grew so great that he even began carrying out diplomacy with the Dukes of Burgundy, which was, of course, the responsibility of the king. And when King Henry IV recovered and realized how much power his son had grabbed, he pushed him out of the royal council. Indeed, in 1412, King Henry IV even excluded his son from a planned expedition to Aquitaine. Prince Henry became so irate with his father that he likely began canvassing for allies in an effort to remove his sickly father from the throne. This led to a series of angry confrontations between the loyalists of Prince Hal and King Henry IV in Parliament. But before matters could escalate into a crisis, the king's illness, which was likely leprosy, began to worsen. Father and son publicly reconciled, and Prince Henry even confessed his subversive activities to his father before the old king died. And when King Henry IV died at the age of 45 on March 20th, 1413, Prince Henry became King Henry V, and we will talk about his reign in the next episode. I hope you enjoyed this installment of the Legendarium. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.